How's everyone doing tonight? I'm just setting up a live stream redirect because I plan on streaming tonight until 10:30, at which time Pokemon Wonder is going live with Nick, Old Skool Pokemon. So yeah, I'm gonna send everyone over there once my stream ends. Plan for tonight. I don't know that I'm gonna crack all four of these. I might bring two of these boxes sealed to Collecticon Houston next weekend. I might break them, do lights heavies. I might just sell the whole box. If I could just sell the whole box sealed, that would work out fine for me too. But I do have pre-sold 2 heavy art sets from base, so half the heavies are already sold, and then I have pre-sold, well, I think 7 actually. I think 2 art sets and then 1, and then just 1 heavy jungle. And I haven't opened a jungle in quite a while. The last couple boxes I opened were fossil and base. So the fossil and the base 2 I might keep sealed for now. We'll see. But yeah, the live stream redirect is set up for 10:30 when we end. So if you got something, if you're not sure what you want to watch later tonight, Pokemon Wonder, Old Skool Pokemon is a great choice. But yeah, as I always do, it's going to be a little bit of a Q&A, market talk, hangout, football games on. I can't show it. I'm a Jets fan. I picked the Bucks for the pick'em pool. Not panning out well so far. Down 10-0, but we'll see how it goes. No Mountain Dew tonight. I've actually got Arnold Palmer tonight. Got my boy Arnie with me. I actually don't have... I have the highlight chat ready, but I don't have the other chat ready. So let me get that pulled up quick. Here we go. Now I have both chats handy. But yeah, what's everyone doing tonight? Actually, the Rangers are playing tonight too, so it's a busy night. Thursday night football. We got New York Rangers hockey. I think they're playing against the Oilers tonight. I won't be able to stream. I got Amazon Prime streaming the football game. If I try to stream the Rangers game too, it's probably gonna slow me right down. Yeah, they're playing the Oilers. Starting shortly. I do have some pricing pulled up. I have a Chrome tab with recent sales of the 4 boxes. I guess I might as well just show it, right? Why talk about it and not show it? So, yeah, the 4 boxes I have, if you can see them, I have Base 2, Jungle First Edition, Fossil First Edition, and then Base Set Unlimited. I think it's actually... I always forget. Green Wing, Blue Wing. It's always a shame. I kind of like when I get an ugly looking box. Like, look at this base set 2 box on Heritage. It's kind of squished. They got 11.875. I paid significantly less than that. I'm probably going to list my base 2 based off this comp. I mean, I would be thrilled to get 10,000 for mine. Mine is not case fresh, I wouldn't say. But it does have a little issue there. But it's not nearly as squished as that one for 11.875. And then Fossil I'm going to be leaving sealed for now. I would take 10K flat on mine. We'll see if anyone's interested in that price. I'll probably be asking 10K on both. I guess on base set 2 per these recent Heritage comps is more of a deal. And then Jungle and base, I paid less than both of these. So I seem to have gotten a pretty good deal on these. Which is great because it allows me to do decent pricing for the heavies and the lights. I always like to do heavy and lights just because you don't have to trust me, right? If I do unweighed, there could be questions. Is someone skimming off this, that? I'm not going to play that game. One reason that I'm leaning against opening the base 2 also, fairly hard to weigh. Jungle is harder to weigh than base and Fossil First, but we'll give it a go tonight. We're going to do it live. I've got my scale ready. So we're going to do it live in a little bit here. I will set aside the art sets that were already purchased. Let me... Strauss says huge false. I'm not sure what's a huge false. Where's my highlighted message? There it is. We get the kickflip Dan tonight. Yeah, Ernesto makes me some. I don't know if Ernesto intended for me to actually use that. Sometimes he makes me some meme photos, but I'm like, I've been using the Umbreon too much. I'm a flipper, right? I'm a flipper, so the kickflip makes it works. It works. I thought Ernie was a skater boy. I think I stepped on a skateboard one time in my life, and I actually remember on my butt in the driveway of a friend's house, skateboard in the road, almost getting run over by a car within 5 seconds of me setting foot on that thing. I do not have the balance. I've snowboarded, but skateboarding would probably not be my thing. I never tried since that one fateful day. Nice to see you, Super Saiyan TCG. Super Saiyan. I think I say that correctly now. Same, the free Thursday nights are rare for me. Yeah, sit back, watch some football on mute, listen to Dan rip some WOTC boxes. Sounds like a good Thursday night. How's it going, Chef, L-Dubs, Hurricane Rob, Pullfather? Open all for sure. I feel like there's a decent chance, especially with that comp. Maybe I'll print it out and have it there. But I feel like there's a decent chance I might be able to get 10K on either of those two boxes, and not having to grade all the PSA 8s at PSA, not having to do all those individual sales and listings, being able to sell it. Most of these came in last week. I know I made the video Monday where I talked about spending $100,000 in Pokemon. I never broke it down in the video. I kind of intended to, and then I just forgot to. A lot of people read that title, or they watched 30 seconds of the video. People were saying I bought 100K of Ultra Modern Sealed. I bought like 30 to 40K of Ultra Modern Sealed. I think these 4 boxes were like, I mean, per Heritage, these were 50 something, 50 and change. I paid more like in the 40s for the 4 of these, mid 40s probably, but I probably got a solid 10% discount, 15% discount to what Heritage did. So I spent 40 here, 30 there, and then I spent like many tens of thousands of dollars. Saying spent is kind of weird, kind of just semantics, right? But I saved, invested in my 401ks and IRAs. I did a big distribution into that for my traditional tax exempt, tax sheltered things there. What's my soda? My soda is an Arnold Palmer tonight. No resealing going on. I'm not going live for 4.5 hours. Oh, yeah, you're on the West Coast. It is 9 p.m., 10:30 p.m. Eastern, so a 90-minute live stream, hour and a half live stream. How many Van Gogh Pikachus do I have? On the first wave, I think I got 10. I think I got 10 on the first wave, and then I got 3 just recently. So I have like 13. I had 13 total. I think I've sold 4 for around 100 to 110 sealed that wouldn't have been PSA 10s. And then I gave one to a consigner who asked me how much I wanted for the damaged one. I had one that was folded like 3 times. The whole surface of it was just like that. So somebody was like, hey, how much do you want for that? And I'm like, I'm just going to send it to you because I don't want to deal with this. I thought about bringing it to Houston, selling it for cash. Probably could have gotten like 50 cash for it or something. I don't know. But I just, I gave that one away. And I think I sent 2 or 3 to each CGC and PSA. And then one just came in today. You can see, I don't know if you can see the Brilliant Stars Pokemon Center ETB. This one looks pretty clean. And I think one more just came in the other day that is elsewhere that I still need to do something with. I am going to get prepped for the Houston Collecticon. That's part of what this is. Getting my heavy and light packs priced and ready to go for Houston. Probably my video Monday will just be a Collecticon prep video. I'll probably just show what I have, talk about. I'm not going to have anything too crazy. There are a handful of higher end things that are personal of mine, used to be former personal collection, that are going to be going to the eBay vault if they don't sell in Houston. So this is going to be a last call for all my own personal eBay items that have not yet made it into the eBay vault, because I just want all mine in there. My selling fees are significantly less in the eBay vault, so whatever doesn't sell in Houston is going to go to the eBay vault as long as it's above the 250. Trying to convert Dan to a Dolphins fan, never. Why aren't you carving pumpkins on stream like Java? We did pumpkins the other night. I did see Java's stream. I didn't tune in because I was prepping for this, and but yeah, we did our pumpkins years ago, pre-kids, when it was just my wife and I. I used to do my own pumpkin, and I did a Gengar pumpkin once. I did a Pokeball pumpkin once. I've done a few different ones. I think Java's thumbnail actually had a Gengar pumpkin that I did. And then this year, though, we did two, one for each kid. They drew the faces, and I cut them out. So they just did some spooky faces or whatever. Oh, Pokemon Dentist says going in and out for me. Is it really lagging bad? I might have to turn off my stream. I might have to turn off Thursday Night Football if it's gonna kill it. It shouldn't, though. Download and upload are separate things, so you need a better internet pipe. Real fishermen are carving pumpkins. Yeah, that base set 2 box, pretty ugly. Happy Thursday. Hey, Dan, I recently discovered your YouTube channel, and I'm a big fan of the content you've released. Been watching your most recent vids and really enjoying it. Thanks, Pokemat. I appreciate that. Close some tabs. Someone text Dan to fix it. He ain't reading chat. I don't know how, but I see it's showing red. Let me, where'd I put the remote? Let me turn off my stupid Fire Stick. I don't need to watch my, I don't know where I put the remote. Gotta be within arm's reach somewhere. My office is a mess as always, but yeah, I can't find the remote. Hopefully it'll pick back up. Midday stream, how good is this? I don't know where you're located, and this is a midday stream. How's it going, Mr. Walrus? How much is an art set of heavy base? So base set unlimited, I'm gonna do $700 heavies. I think Rusty was doing $750 on his streams. I'm gonna do $700 for a pack and $2,000 flat for an art set. So I did have somebody that was committed, I think, at the full 2100. But yeah, I see my stream is still struggling. I apologize for that. I don't know if I'm coming through in 144p or what. Let me turn off my music that I'm streaming. I don't need to listen to music. But yeah, download shouldn't really affect upload. Let's see. PSA 9 complete set of first edition Fossil and Jungle worth collecting. I formerly had them in my collection. They were some of my early goals. Every PSA 9 base first edition hollow, which I accomplished. Most of them I opened. I heard if you open them, you're not a sealed investor. Paying buyer's premium is worse than paying taxes. Those prices I showed did include buyer's premium, so it wasn't like 20-25% above that. I think, I really have no idea. I really have no idea where I put these remotes. Hmm. Anyone buy the Hasbro stock dip? Someday, I want to be able to buy individual stocks, but I'm not there yet. I just do all my passive indexing for now. All my active energy goes into Pokemon. I think I have a better advantage there. I hope I'm not streaming in 1080. No, I'm set to 720. I don't know why it's struggling so much. But yeah, I do have a Robinhood account. I have bought a couple very, very tiny amounts of individual stocks. I would not advise it. I've not done too well relative to just my passive index stuff. But and plus it's in like a brokerage account that's subject to paying taxes on it as I go, whereas 401ks and IRAs are like tax deferred until retirement. By chance, we'll be bringing any graded copies of Neo Destiny's Shining Charizard to Houston CollectCon. I have one in my eBay vault. One thing that I need to figure out a way to put the word out there, but the eBay vault fees are 0% right now for sellers. I do a vault consignment service where I charge 5% to my consigners. And there are a host of reasons why people might pay me 5% when they could sell themselves. I have a larger eBay account with a bigger following. I have the ability to edit eBay vault titles. I won't get into the tax implications, but like 1099s are not issued when you sell through a consignment service. Though obviously you still have to declare and report all that. There we go. The Bucks just scored to tie it up. Oh yeah, Godwin too. Yeah, what was I going on about? Sorry, I just saw the touchdown and internet provider biggest threat to Dan's empire. Yeah, so the eBay vault, I get so many people that message me on eBay. Hey, will you do this through Instagram? Will you do this through PayPal Goods and Services? No, I'm paying 0% fees to sell here. Starting next year, it'll be a 3% buyer's premium. But like somehow the word needs to get out that like I'm not gonna come off platform to begin with, but I'm definitely not coming off platform to pay more money. Like if I sell through PayPal Goods and Services, I'm paying more money. And certain people, they're paying sales tax on their purchases, even though some of them are buying with intent to resell. Not getting into the whole thing of people should just be doing things above board and not paying sales tax if they're in this for a profit, in this to make money. But anyways, yeah, let's let me catch up. Good time to pick up some VOO. Debating between there or VIG dividend. Need that magic 8-ball financial advice. No financial advice here. I pick up pretty broad total stock market, VT Sachs, VOO. I do some. I have so many different accounts as part of it. I have 529s for the kids, and I sometimes forget exactly which fund I have in each account. I did just consolidate some funds. I consolidated my former employer's 401k, rolled it into my IRA. My wife's 403b from her former employer got rolled into her IRA. So that was a lot of annoying paperwork, but that's behind me now. Okay, fine. I'll take 2 boxes shipped to hits only. Ernesto says the stream's fine for him. I don't know. Are you guaranteed to have 3 or 4 heavy art sets, or is it possible to just not get them? So there are weird boxes. I actually talked to Rusty, TCA Gaming, when I had it happen on a base set 4th box that I opened earlier this year, I believe it was. Maybe late last year. I had like 18 Charizard artworks, which was great, because those go for a slight premium, especially when graded. But generally speaking, you will have 12 of each artwork, and you will have 4 of each artwork being heavy and 8 of each artwork being light. We'll check as we do it. Let me start with the base box, because that one I have the most sold out of. But yeah, let me get the screen ready. Let me close my eBay and stuff so that I don't accidentally share someone's purchase information. Is the Rangers game delayed? I just went to my tab that had the Rangers game open and it says delayed. I don't see anything about it when I Google it, though. That's weird. Huh. Anyways, let me go to this screen. There's our box. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So there's our box. My camera angle's a little weird. I mounted it in a different spot. I used to have it mounting like down off my light that's over here. Now it's coming off of my camera. I need to get a longer thing so that it's kind of at this weird slight angle. But yeah, it's gonna be what it is right now. Let's see what we got going on. We'll put our scale hopefully where we can see the weights. Not that it really matters keeping everything on screen, but I'll do my best to keep everything on screen. One of my buyers, actually, he wanted to be shout out, or I asked him if he wanted to be shout out, and he said, sure, that's fine. TCG.plug on Instagram bought an art set of heavies, and he's also taking the empty box. I think I did like $40. I see him sell between 50 and 100 on eBay. This one's like case fresh. He actually wanted an acrylic too. I did find an acrylic. I hope this is base set box size. Usually when I buy WOTC boxes, a lot of times they'll come in these. So yeah, I'll send your empty box in the acrylic because I just have some that I don't use. I don't care about having. I'm sure I'll get more down the line. But yeah, he's got the empty box and he's got the heavy art set and he's got the acrylic coming for $2,040. He got the hookup since he was the first art set buyer. But yeah, let's it's always such a shame. I mean, look at how crispy clean case fresh. For anyone who doesn't know, there are, like, for whatever reason, base set and fossil are just being ripped like crazy this year. I mean, I think this is my third base set box I'm opening. I think I've opened 2 or so fossil ones. I won't open this one behind me yet tonight. I might try to sell it sealed. But yeah, there are sources out there with case quantity, like many case quantity. I don't know how many exactly, but there are definitely, there's a short term. Let's see if I can do this without wrecking the box. There's definitely a short term excess. I'm not going to send the WOTC shrink wrap because I don't think that's needed. I'll do my best to destroy the WOTC shrink wrap as I open it. No funny business going on. But yeah, let's see what we got going on in here. These are like as legitimate as of a source as is out there. The last several base set and fossil boxes that I've bought have come from someone very close, very direct to former legitimate stuff, I guess. I don't know the ultimate source, but it's really clean boxes, case fresh, and it's nice. So yeah, as you'll see, the way the packs generally go, they alternate. So it's Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizard, all the way through. So you get equal arts of each. I did have that one weird error box that was totally legitimate. Very strange that it had like half Charizard artworks. One thing about these recent boxes too, I say this every time I crack one live on stream, you need to be super careful out there. My heavies are 21.6. There's almost no shot that these are going to be the lights. Generally, there's a 0.3 to 0.4 gram difference between the lights and the heavies. So I'm assuming my heavies will be 21.6 to 21.7, and my lights will be 21.3 to 21.4. A lot of people on eBay, and a lot of people historically, just think that 21 grams is heavy. 21 grams is not necessarily heavy. 21 grams, if you buy a loose 21 gram pack on eBay, there's a pretty solid shot it came out of a very heavy box as a light pack. There, 21.2 are my lights. So 21.1 to 21.2 are going to be my lights. A little bit below 21.1, but that's what you love to see. Base set always weighs super clean. You get a nice spread. You can see my scale just absolutely sucks. It's just drifting. It's drifting by like 0.04 grams. It's funny. Everyone, ooh, that's kind of an in-betweener. So we'll put that one in the middle for now. I was just going to say base set usually weighs very cleanly. That's another kind of middle weight. But yeah, base set is usually very clean. Usually there's 12 packs that just stand out as being very heavy relative to the other ones. And if you have me rip these on stream, if you rip these in front of me at Collecticon, I am one of the few people, I think, who always gives a hollow guarantee. If I ship it to you, if you take it away from the table, whatever, obviously I can't guarantee anything because I don't know what happened with the pack afterwards. But base set, I've never really had an issue. My scale's drifting a lot right now. Let me tear my scale. But yeah, I've never 21.4. I've never had an issue with base set weighing out the 12 heaviest packs. And if I ever do, what I'll generally do is I'll sell only, and it sucks when it happens because it's just taking money out of my bottom line, right? I sell lights for like $350, 1K for light art sets, and then I sell heavies for $700. So every time a heavy has to be sold as a light because I only have 10 packs that weigh heavy. That's $350 for each pack that I'm losing on. Really sucks when that happens. But yeah, we'll see if we get 12 heavies. Hopefully we do. I think we did get 6 from the first side, which is a good sign. But everything that I'm seeing right now, again, the source is as legitimate as it comes. I've bought from this source multiple times already. There is no concerns of authenticity. Which actually recently I've had the thought. I don't think I'll do it anytime soon because I think the well runs fairly deep on these. But someday I might sit on a couple boxes. It's very hard to justify doing right now. Per heritage, $17,500. I did not pay that much, but that's what the most recent one went for on heritage. It's very hard to justify tying up all that money and just having that sit when I can just break it and make $1,000, make a couple grand, whatever it ends up being. Why not just buy one, rip it, ship it, make a couple grand, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again, right? I guess I should just like buy 7 of them and keep the 8th one for free. But again, to try to buy a whole case all at once, a lot of people think buying in quantity gives you discounts. Probably would more like be paying a slight premium to try to get a sealed case of this stuff. I don't really know. I've never really inquired into that. I don't really want to buy a sealed case of it. But yeah, there's always been the thought that like someday should I sit on a couple of these or something. So let's see what we weighed out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 came out heavy. And let's divide them. We will recheck them before I pack them up and ship. But yeah, 4, 4, and 4. So we have 4, 4, and 4 that were all heavy. And then let's do our lights. These lights were like super heavy lights. Like 21.4. I've opened so many boxes that the heavies were 21.4 and the lights were 21.1. So that is like kind of scary to see a heavy pack or to see a light pack so heavy. Because, I mean, I'm selling these as light, guaranteed non-hollow. Do not open these. I might grade some of them if any of them look really clean. But people will do bad things with these packs. Unsavory people, always be careful. If you don't see the box be opened, if you don't have the context of the box, like don't go to a convention, have someone put a base pack on a scale in front of you. Oh, it's 21.4. It's probably like 80% chance heavy. Probably 80% chance hollow. That's not a thing. Like that, I've never seen, I feel like I've heard Gary or Rusty say that they had one box that was like the heavies were 22 and the lights were 21.7. I've never seen that high. I think this is the heaviest box I've ever seen. My lights being 21.3 to 21.4, and then some of the other lights being like 21.1. This is crazy. And again, these are all lights, so I don't really care. I'm going to go through and just sort out. I'm assuming I have 8 of each. So if anyone wants light art sets, I don't have them listed anywhere because I'm going to take them to Houston first. If you're interested in a light art set for $1,000 or a heavy art set for $2,000, feel free to email me. Link to my emails on my website or in the description, or it's just catchemallcollectibles@gmail.com. If you're interested, as legitimate as they come, please don't do anything unsavory with them, but they are like the heaviest lights around. Your light art set will be like very, very heavy. But yeah, 8 of each artwork light. I'm just going to quickly reweigh on stream just to make sure. Sanity check. 21.7, 21.6. I just want to double check my heavies, and then we'll do the jungle box next. I probably won't do the base set too, or the you'll notice though with the jungle there will probably be a little less certainty. There will probably be a little more wait. Oh, this one was actually, oh, never mind. I was going to say that one was super light. It was just resting on another pack. I thought it was weighing 20 something, but it was resting on another pack. 21.6. So yeah, all these are 21.6 plus. Very, very confident. No issues giving the hollow guarantee on any of these. No reservations whatsoever. Yeah. So those are all good to go. Let me go full screen for a minute. I will set aside PokePlug. You'll be able to verify when you get them. My scale is an $8 scale that I've put in suitcases that I don't calibrate, that fluctuates by 0.05 grams. But so yours might weigh slightly different, especially depending on your elevation, all that stuff. But yeah, you're getting the top art set, nice clean art set, putting it in your empty box that's going to go into your acrylic case. Appreciate you, TCG.plug on Instagram. Yours are set aside. And then I do have another one. I have another one that I have interest in. I believe they're going to pay. They've not yet paid, so we'll see how that goes. But there is one art set left for base set heavies, and then there are like 2 loose packs. I think someone bought a Venusaur or is intending to buy a Venusaur artwork from me. I have it in my Discord DMs. I need to verify. But yeah, let me catch up with chat, and then we'll do the next box. Let me set my lights over here. Let me set my heavies up here so that I don't mix them up. I always like triple check the weights. When I sell them in person, I always do a final sanity check. I don't want to give a hollow guarantee and have them rip a light pack. Cost myself $350. Might be time to go halvesies with a neighbor to get fiber. It wouldn't even be fiber. If I went like a mile and a half which would cost tens of thousands of dollars as far as I understand. I could get Spectrum, which would be massive compared to what I have. I would love to have it, but can we get Ray to buy and rip a heavy base set? Oh, please no. I see Java saying, yo, how's it going, Java? How'd the pumpkin carving going? And he says vault fees, just vault fees. That's the whole comment. That Crown Zenith premium figure boxes here for $24.50 the other day. Snap those bad boys up. Hopefully you get some good pulls. Crown Zenith is a very solid set. Stream running better for me now. Good stuff. Yeah, so eBay vault selling fees are 0 for now. I think they're going to be 0 forever. It is kind of hard to believe, but supposedly they're only going to ever charge a 3% buyer's premium, which when you compare to PWCC Heritage Gold, and when you compare to anyone else, if they do this properly, and I'm already having great results with it for my consigners and for my own cards. But yeah, I'm having a great time with the eBay vault right now. I have the ability, which is kind of like a selling point of the consignment service. I have the ability to edit my titles. I know some of the stock titles that they give you are very bad. I talked to Java Akuma about it, actually. I have a different process than most people have for the eBay vault. And I can just set my titles. You get like a preset list of what aspects of the item specifics you're allowed to put in the title, which for certain cards works out perfectly fine, and certain cards works out like miserably. I also have to put in like a consigner code at the end of my title. But anyways, yeah, the eBay vault is crazy good, way underrated. NP Pokemon says, I've been thinking it's a pretty good time to go for WOTC. Let me see my other chat. I've not been keeping up with the live chat, sorry. Any thoughts on seeing the PSA 9 first Zard going for 16.6K? Weird to see, but gets you thinking. In my mind, and I have not kept up with it, I sold my PSA 9 base first Charizard for like 25 grand a year and a half ago, and I'm very glad I did. That was an auction. I think that was an auction through ZNG Emporium. I would be kind of surprised if you couldn't get more than that through a buy it now. I don't know though. Like, I've not had one to sell in a long time. If anyone has one they want to consign, we might be able to get 20K. I don't know for sure, but let me look up what PSA 9 base first Charizard is. And I don't really advertise it, but I charge 5% on the eBay vault, minimum $25. And then I do 4% if it's above 10,000. If it's like I have a base first Charizard, PSA 10 from Gem at Pokemon, that's negotiated separately. That's not really a percentage. That's just like a negotiated fee. If you have the goods, the real goods, we can definitely negotiate what the vault fee would be, the consignment fee would be. But yeah, I'm sorting by high to low. Looks like the lowest PSA 9 base first Charizard on eBay is 24,000. So PSA 9s, given that 10s are 200,000 plus, and given that 9s are 20-ish, 15 to 25K, whatever it may be, PSA 9 should vary a lot. Like, I don't know how clean or weak the one that James auctioned was. I actually see it here, 16,601 cent. It's a 2-cert. It's got a thin left border, thick right border. Let's see what the back looks like. White dot on the middle, white dot on the left. I mean, it's a fair 9, I think. It's not going to regrade to a 10 anytime soon, but it's a decent 9, I think. I've seen cleaner 9s, I've seen worse 9s, I've seen worse 10s. Other than that, though, like before that sale, I don't know what the other sales were. Anyways, I mean, I've gone over the pros and the cons of buy it nows versus auctions so many times. Auctions are great for just liquidity, getting that quicker sale, getting the money flowing, forcing the sale, but then you can't control the price as much. But you can list buy it now. The price can just trickle down on you. the market price can trickle down over 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and you could end up selling a year later, slashing the price 50% to get it sold. You may have been better off. You never know until hindsight, right? Like that person could have listed that Charizard, buy it now for 20K, and then 3 more might have auctioned for 15K, 14K, 12K, and then maybe they would have had to reprice it to 12K to sell it down the line. You never know. Like hindsight is 2020, and I'm sure the consignor's happy with the service and all that. Dan is past pack fresh level of Pokemon investor. He's at case fresh level. I've actually never had a case of WOTC. Maybe one of these days. Maybe I will do a case. It would be very scary though. If I ever did a case of like base set, if I ever did a case of boxes, I would probably have to have 2 or 3 pre-sold to justify. I mean, say it's 15,000. You're talking 90K. That's quite a bit. That'd be quite a buy. Ernesto bought his for 10 USD in 2016. Not too shabby. Open a pack. Ryan Bailey wants to rip one of the heavy lights. If someone wants to rip a heavy light, I mean, I'll sell it to you for what I'm selling the heavies for, or what I'm selling the lights for. I will. If someone wants to rip on stream, DM me somewhere, email me. You're gonna get a non-hollow. I will open the heaviest light for somebody for $350. I would not recommend it personally because I'm pretty sure I have opened though. I will say I have opened base set boxes years ago that had 13 hollows, and I've also gotten 11 hollows. But when I got 13, when I got 11, 13 weighed out heavy. 11 weighed out heavy. Like the way this box weighed, I'm very confident that it's going to be 12 hollows. Are you the same guy who spent over 100K on cards in a week? I spent over 100K in a week. That included traditional investments too. So that included funding my 401K and IRA. I put it in the description, which I think no one reads. But yeah, I spent like 30K on Ultra Modern. I spent like mid 40s on WOTC, and then I spent like upper half of 5 figures, over 50,000 on 401K and IRA funding. Badly Super would like to claim a heavy art set for 2K. Sent email. Appreciate you. I'm terrible with usernames and I forget who. TCG Plug bought one. Badly Super. I don't know if you've already been speaking to me. Had you been speaking to me? Maybe not. But I do see your email. You must not be the one who... Someone had been speaking to me about it, and I apologize. I forget who it was. I have one earmarked for you, and then Badly Super is earmarking the 3rd heavy art set. So maybe, I mean, I know people who have more of these boxes. Maybe I'll end up with a fresh box for Houston. Most times that I buy these boxes, they overnight. They overnight to me. I see another... Okay. You contacted me through email and through my website contact form. I was gonna say, I'm like, I think I have 2 people in my email right now trying to get an art set, but it's Badly Super 2 times. So you're earmarked. I'll reach out to you after the stream with payment and all that. But I actually ripped 3 heavy hanger packs today. Ironically, how much for an art set? It's 2K. 1K for a light art set. 2K for an heavy art set. If there's enough interest, usually what happens is I usually price my heavies pretty well. I usually get backlogged with lights, which I'll deal with it. I'll figure out how to get rid of them. But yeah, I usually, because I know Pokey Chloe bought me out one time on my heavies and then just upcharged a little bit more. I made money, she made money. It was great. Rusty's done that before too. Actually, just in the last Collecticon in Charlotte, Rusty ended up buying a bunch of my Topps Chrome packs. He bought all my base set unlimited. He bought all my Fossil First Edition. I think he streamed recently. He streamed a while ago. He streamed shortly after Charlotte, and he pulled a Charizard and a Blastoise. So I think since he pulled the Charizard and the Blastoise from my packs, I think he lowered his price because you can get duplicates. I've opened 2 Charizard boxes. Gary, years ago, I think Gary still talks about, he opened a base set first edition box one time, 3 base first edition Charizards in a base first box, and they all graded 10s. Like, absolute lottery winner there. Crazy. Basically got me excited for the base art. If I could pick one up at 16K, I'd probably do it soon, but people still holding the 20K line. Yeah, low list I saw on eBay was 24,000. In my mind, when I saw James's auction going, I contemplated. I actually don't own, for the first time in years. It's been several months now. I don't own a base first Charizard. I have a couple on consignment in my eBay vault, but I do not own a base set first edition Charizard, and I'm kind of getting the itch for it. PSA 9, I might end up picking up a lower grade just to have something, buy it, list it for $1,000 more in my vault. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah, it feels kind of bad to not have a base first Charizard, to be honest. I contemplated, but I didn't end up going for it because I was spending too much money elsewhere. Ryan Bailey says, tempting. How much success have you had so far on ComC? Are you getting volume in sales? I only have I think I sent 40 cards there. I think I put $20 in. You have to pre-fund your account. You have to have store credit to pay for your sort fees or whatever they call them. 50 cents per card to get them listed. I sent 40 cards. I think I only have 7 left of the first 40 I sent. A long time ago though, and I've not updated the prices, and I sent them 1,000 cards recently, and they're slowly starting to populate. I think 50 of the 1,000 cards are populated. They say it takes up to 12 weeks. I think I'm 4 weeks in so far. So they've only done 5% of my order, but they're only a part of the way through the turnaround time. So yeah, I just have very little data to go off of. But when I listed my first 40 and I priced them all at near the low list, a lot of them sold really quickly. It was Pokemon primarily just to try it. Most of the stuff I sent them is very niche stuff from that collection I bought last year though. Most stuff is fairly niche, fairly liquid. So my experience with ComC is mostly going to be non-Pokemon, and it's not going to be that relevant to Pokemon. But Java says just grade the lights. To be honest, I probably will grade some, depending. I mean, unless they sell out in Houston, that'll be great. I probably will be stupid, and I'll probably will grade some. I have a couple art sets in process at PSA. My last return just came back not too long ago. It was mostly 8s, a little bit of 9s, and then a few 10s. I think 3 out of 36 got 10s, something like that. Very, very rough. Not like it used to be, but something. Any graded in the ComC batch or mostly raw? I only sent them raw. I think you can actually search Catch 'em All Collectibles ComC. You can find my page. It's not like Troll and Toad Evo. Troll and Toad Evo, you can individually go to listings and you can see what's mine and you can see what's theirs. You can see what's Rusty's, other people until February 1st when we're all kicked off. But on ComC, you can actually go to my page and you can see everything I have listing as far as I understand. But yeah, ComC's slower and more expensive for sure. Do I think the Pokemon market's headed towards a downtrend? I know many people who stopped collecting buying completely. How fast do you typically sell out on your WOTC packs? I've had some boxes take me 8 months to get through, and I've had some boxes take me 8 days to get through. I'm hoping with Collecticon next weekend in Houston, I'm hoping these are ones that take me 8 days to get through. The way that these base heavy art sets are going, I might end up buying another WOTC box, another base set box. I think I scooped this box for a price that I can't match, especially with the recent cop coming in from Heritage at 17.5. But I'm pretty sure I could get one to where I could probably still do 2K art sets. Maybe I'd have to do 2100. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think I have offers on there. I'm not sure. Dan, do you think it's bad etiquette instantly relisting something from another seller straight away on eBay, or do you leave it for a few weeks? If I buy something from someone and then listing it immediately, if you buy something from someone and immediately are going to flip it, people might get upset about it, but they have no right to whatsoever. Say you bought that PSA 9 base first Charizard from James for 16.6. James is a businessman. He's not going to care if you list it for 20 grand. He's not going to care if you list it for 22 grand. The consigner might care to some extent. I don't really know. I've never cared about that though. If I sell and I make a little money, or even if I lose money, if I sell and I lose money and the next guy makes money on me, I'm all for it. Do your thing. It gets weird to me how people care what the customer does with what they sell. Once that money clears and I ship, it's your card. Do what you want with it. If I'm understanding the question correctly, I'm not sure. When buying an auction item, what was the auction you remember where your max bid was way above where it ended? I remember buying, I probably could find it because it was so expensive. I probably could find it. I remember buying a collection where I bid like $20,000 and I won it for like 13. I won it for like 65%, which when you say 65% of my max bid, not that big of a deal. Maybe he bought a Celizard instead of it being 200, he paid one, like even that 130, like something that liquid, something that modern is not going to go for 65% too frequently probably. But I won a massive binder collection. It was actually part binder, part graded. It was a big collection. I want to say my max bid was like 21. I always do an oddball number. I've not been on auctions in so long, but there were multiple collections that I've won at like, that was the biggest one that stands out. I probably won it at like 13, 1, whatever, and I bid a little over 20. All different ones that I bid 3K and I won them for 2K or 1,500 or whatever it may be. Years ago, I think there was more luck with that. Periodically, I think it's harder for things to go through. In certain ones, there's probably times where I bid 3K, I won it for 1,500. It didn't pan out into being what I thought it was gonna be, and I like barely scraped together a break even at 1,500. Like, there's definitely been some hits. There's definitely been some misses. Absolutely. The numbers game. I got a 5 for sale if I make the 9 move. Houston gang, looking forward to Houston. I fat fingered $80 on a $20 PSA 10 and some a-hole kept bidding it up. Thank God my local post office accidentally damaged the label and sent it back to the return address. That's funny. Hurricane Rob says it was me on Instagram. I have a PSA 10 unlimited, but would love a first. So I'm gonna cut into the next box now. I actually fully caught up the chat. Feel free to keep leaving messages if you're interested. Wow. Greeny bid $1,200 on a magazine and won it at $200. Felt good, rip seller. That's crazy. I've never had like, I didn't even think on a $50 item, which maybe you're like less likely. I don't think I've ever, like, which obviously magazines are going to be less liquid, I think generally speaking, than Pokemon. I don't think I've had anywhere near a 16%, a 16% of my max bid win. That's crazy. Let me see what I can do here to not destroy the box. And if anyone wants the box, I have a handful of empty boxes still from, well, I have a whole empty art set of every box I open. So every box created, I have an empty box of. That's part of my collection or whatever, I guess. I don't collect much these days, but I still have that from that big part of my journey. But yeah, if anyone wants a jungle art set, what did I say I'm gonna do on these? Jungle, I think I'm doing $550 for a heavy, $275 for a light, $750 for an art set light, $1,500 for an art set heavy. Generally speaking, sometimes, actually, I was talking to, or I don't know if he wants me to mention it, but I've talked to people before. How do you price heavies? How do you price lights? A lot of times there's other people selling them, and I just go a little bit cheaper than they are. Rusty, a lot of times, has heavy packs. There's different websites. There's different sellers that often have them. I usually try to be the cheapest on the market. I usually try to run pretty thin margins on these boxes to move them quicker, just in case the prices shift a lot. But, generally speaking, and it's probably going to vary depending on the set, depending on whatever it may be. Rule of thumb, though, for what it's worth, 2 times the price of a light is what a heavy goes for. Very rough estimate, but as you can see tonight, I'm doing 1K art sets for light base, 2K art sets for heavy base. That's a 2X. And I'm doing $750 and $1,500 for jungle. So it's a 2X there too. Not always, but often. Very often it's a 2X. Let's see what we got going on here. Same thing with the jungle box. I source these from the most legitimate sources I've ever bought from. Usually you see alternating artworks. I think a couple of the top packs had shifted a little bit. So yeah, you're seeing a double scyther there, but I think a couple of the top packs had shifted, which often happens. This box I'm anticipating probably having I'm probably anticipating this having 10 that stand out as heavy, and then maybe 3 or 4 in-betweeners, which is tough. It makes it tough to know what to do. One bit of information, though, that you can kind of use to your benefit potentially. is that theoretically, as happened with the base box, I should have 4 of each artwork for heavy. I should have 8 of each artwork for light. So based off that information, we might be able to make some moves with some of those in between packs, depending on how it goes. Though, so that's interesting. So my heavy was 21.4. Presumable light is 21.1, and then I have a 20.6. Not very frequently. I've definitely seen it before. With base, our heaviest were 21.7, I believe, and our lightest were sub 21.1. So that was like a 0.7 gram variance between the heaviest and the lightest. Wow, and then a 20.7. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. So my heaviest is 21.7, and my lightest is 20.6. Over a gram between the heaviest and the lightest. That's actually, I don't think I've ever seen that. I'll have to text Rusty tomorrow. I don't know if Rusty's in here, but I'll have to text him tomorrow. And I don't know that I've ever seen over a gram. And now we have a new heaviest, 20.81. And again, this, as legitimate of a source as it gets, I think Rusty, myself, a lot of people buy from the same people. I'm losing track on what weight each of these piles is. But yeah, 21.1s-ish right there. Ones, sub ones. There's a 20.5. So yeah, we're over a 1.3 gram difference. That's almost a whole card. I mean, a whole card. It's 11 cards per pack. They weigh 21 grams, slightly under 2 grams per card. So you're almost talking a whole card of difference. And I have seen that before too. Actually, now that I mention it, the only exception to not seeing more than a gram difference, the only time I've seen more than a gram difference, I've seen error packs that had 12 cards that weighed 23 something. Actually, I think I have a couple sealed error packs that either weigh 19 something or they weigh 21 or 22, 23 point something. Obviously, if you get into the EX era, some of those are 9 card packs, some of those weigh 19 point whatever. But I'm talking WOTC. I have a WOTC box somewhere, or WOTC pack somewhere. I think that I kept. It was like 23 grams. I'm always gonna double check. I think I am. I appreciate you, Twisted. I see a couple of people say I'm mixing up packs. I do believe I did. I'll double check all the heavies at the end. I think I have all the heavies correctly. I have 4 right now that were 20.7 plus. Hopefully we'll get 12 there. So yeah, we're up to 5. We're up to 5 and we're not through stack 1 yet. So we might get 12 heavies. 21.7, 21.8, which would be great. There's another super light, 20.6, 20.5. Crazy the variance in these. I think we're at 5 heavies right now. Maybe I'll rip a pack tonight if I have 1 or 2 in-betweeners. Maybe I'll rip my 12th heaviest to see what's going on with it. Absolutely crazy though. Again, 21.1 grams. A lot of these lights are 21.1 grams. So be careful out there. Don't buy a 21 gram pack thinking that it's a guaranteed heavy. By no means is that the case. 20.8. Now I feel like these are getting a lot lighter. What just happened? Where'd all my heavies go? All my heavies. I might end up in a rough spot here with not too many heavy. Oh, I might have been putting some 20.7s in my 21.7. Oh, okay. I might have completely screwed up this box. Maybe I don't have any 21.8s. I might need to reweigh this whole box. 21.1. 20.6. So yeah, I was thinking they were 21.8, but they're 20.8. So my heavies are actually lights. It looks like my yeah, I guess I don't have to text Rusty tomorrow because I'm just being dumb. All this heavy pile was actually just lights. I'm gonna start from light side. Yeah, greeny. This is like the chaotic neutral or whatever. The play is to consign the light 21 gram packs through Heritage. Heritage weighs them and posts the weight. Then you get heavy prices and it's anonymous. That's absolutely a play that people have partaken in, but not myself. But really, are you doing anything wrong, right? I mean, I don't think I'll be doing that. Hopefully I'll be able to grade some of these, grade some 10s, grade some 9s, get a decent premium. But yeah, all these, I don't know what, it's, I've not been sleeping enough, working nights. I've actually slept decently this week, but I'll blame it on that. All those packs that I thought were 21.8 were actually just 20.8, 20.7. So here's all my lights. Light. Let's see what these are. I think these were all 20.8. I was just butchering the weight of all these. So all these are like guaranteed lights. Let me split them up into art sets. I guess my lightest was 20.5 and my heaviest was 21.4. Still almost a gram, but not the 1.3 grams that I thought I had. That would have been crazy. Everything so far I've weighed is sub 21. But let's divvy up the art sets and see where we're at. Again, shoot me an email if anyone's interested. As legitimate as it comes. Very, very trusted source that I've bought from multiple times. You see the box being broken on YouTube. I think I'm up to 8 so I have 7 Flareons, I think 6 of the other ones. So hopefully we can find 12 heavies here. 21.16, I'm going to set that there. 21.15, that's in the same vicinity. 21.14. 21.14, so these are all in the same vicinity. I might end up in a pretty rough spot as far as heavies go, which jungle, that's the way it gets you sometimes. I might end up only having like 6 that I'm confident in, which if that's the case, that's going to be very rough. This is why I don't open jungle and I don't open rocket too often. I'll just have to hope PSA blesses me with some 9s and 10s. None of these are even like 21.2. None of these are helping me out whatsoever. These are all 21.1 to 21.15. I literally have 5. I have 5 that are 21.4 plus. This is brutal. 21.45. 21.45. I have 5 that I'm like, if someone rips in front of me, or if someone wants to take it away sealed, I will give you one of these 5. If someone rips in front of me, so I should have 7. 7 of these should be hollows. 7 of these 12 should be hollows. So is it better to sell? It's definitely not better to sell 7 heavies as lights. If I sell 7 heavies as lights, I lose $2,000 because I'm losing almost $300 per pack times 7. If I sell 5 as a hollow guarantee and they don't pull the hollow, then I lose $1,500 giving away light packs that people rip for free. So I'm better off just doing the math. My EV is higher selling all these as hollow guarantee, knowing that up to 5 people, and I can do the math on it. I'll reweigh them maybe with a better scale. I actually do have a better scale that I keep it in a better spot. So there's like 21.11. I will weigh these with a better scale. Like that one's 0.07 grams heavier. See, these scales are so bad. You weigh something 3 times and you get 3 different weights. But yeah, I'll reweigh these a couple times and it'll be at my risk. But I have 5 packs that I can, hey, you walk away with these. I'm as confident as I can be. These are going to be heavies. And then if someone wants to rip in front of me, I'm going to give them one of these like in-betweener packs. And I've had it happen before. So this one's going sub 21.1 now. We, on the second reweigh, I'm getting a little bit more certainty. A little bit more. But this is how she goes for jungle. I knew what I was getting into when I cracked a jungle box. So when I just reweighed that, I have 5 that are 0.1-ish grams heavier. And then I have 3 here. So if I take 5, 5, 3, there's a decent, now I'm down to like 13. These ones are not definitely. And actually, if I put these here, if I go by that, I have one too many light Flareon arts. So maybe one of these is a heavy. It's that's all I'm gonna get into for now. But yeah, if anyone has any interest, I have 5 that I'm quite confident in, 21.4 grams plus, and I have some other ones I'll have to figure out how I want to gamble on. I'm not gonna go grab the better scale because it's not accessible right now. I need to go off camera to get it, and I keep it somewhere else so that I'm not putting it like this thing goes in my pocket sometimes. This thing goes to events. It goes in my bag to conventions, and it gets squished like crazy. Like it's got this case. Scales don't want to be squished. I'm sure how cheap this thing is. Yeah, when I squeeze on this, I'm definitely pushing on the plate way beyond its scale, way beyond the scale. Kai says, "Hey Dan, sending you heaps of Sword Shield commons for Vault Consignment. ZNG Emporium will actually grade your cards for you and send them to auction. So those would probably be a great option for him. Contact him at james@zngemporium.com. Get out the sticky notes, brother." But yeah, there's my 2 boxes. That's part of the reason. It's like when I got this for a decent price a week or 2 ago. If I can get 10K for this in Houston, I'll be way better off than trying to sell. I think I was going to do heavies on this. What was I going to do? I've got a sheet right here. I think I was going to do heavies on this for 500 and lights for 250. And actually, if I was able to sell out of that, I would do a lot better on the base set 2 box than any other box. But I know if I open it, I'm going to have this situation. I'm going to have like 5 packs that I'm confident in, and then 10 that I'm not confident in. The empty base set box is already sold. I sold it for $40, including an acrylic case, to the guy who the TCG plug, who's buying an art set, bought and already paid. But yeah, that was the main goal for the stream. I'm gonna hang out for another half an hour. Let me check on the Rangers game, see if there's been any scoring there. I see my pick of the the Buccaneers isn't panning out too well. Down by 14 now, but we'll see what happens. Rangers are 0-0, almost end of the first. Do you think anyone in Houston will rival your P-Touch skills? I actually don't have my label maker handy because I was labeling some things. I got some new shelving over there, which I'm excited about. I was labeling some things with that. So my label maker's not handy either. But yeah, feel free to ask me any questions. I'm going to go till 10:30. At 10:30, Pokemon Wonder is going live with Old Skool Pokemon, and I plan on rating that stream. I plan on redirecting everyone who's in here. If you're hanging out, you're watching the football game on mute, you want to listen to some Pokemon content, Justin and Nick will have you on that front. So I'm looking forward to listening to that myself as I work later. But yeah, what's everyone up to? Any questions regarding... I'm really excited. Collecticon is coming up so quickly. I appreciate you. There's Pokemon Wonder right there. Speak of the devil. 81 watching, 23 likes. Hit that like button, everyone. I appreciate you. How's it going, Swami? Nice to see you. We just got wrecked. Opening a Jungle First Edition booster box. I only have 5 heavies that I'm very confident in out of the 12 that I should have. The heaviest base was like 21.7 or 21.8, somewhere in there. Heavy Team Rockets should weigh anywhere from 20.9. I've had boxes of WOTC where my lights were 20.5 and my heavies were 20.8, 20.9. And I've had boxes all the way up to like 21.9, 21.8 gram heavies and 21.4 gram lights. So you always need the box context. If you have a light pack that's 21.3, 21.4, the only time, like if I had a loose pack that was 21.8, 21.9, I've never seen a light that high. Again, I think either Rusty or Gary, I think they've mentioned they had a box that was 22 gram heavies and 21.6, 21.7 gram lights. So be careful. If you have no box context, you have to be extremely careful because they vary by like a gram. Heavy heavies to light lights, all that stuff. You think people would want minty old school open theme decks with manuals and such? Any value in those for display? If you're talking E-series, e-reader era, almost definitely. Even I don't know about like I've actually never looked. I'm a hoarder. I have probably 80 empty base set 2-player starter sets. I used to crack them years ago. I was cracking them in 2020 to grade the Charmanders and stuff at like $50, $75 grading for the Charmanders. Crazy times. But I probably have 100 empty theme decks, various theme decks, mostly early WOTC. I don't think I ever opened a theme deck past like Rocket. I at one point I thought about collecting all of them. I did have Turmoil. Or no. Yeah, Turmoil and Lava, I believe, are Legendary Collection ones. I did have Turmoil and Lava at one point. I never had the Eevee one from Skyridge. I had most of WotC though. And then I'm just like, this is too much. I've collected so many different things in my past. I used to be Collector Boy Dan. I've had a complete ETB collection. I've had a complete loose pack artwork collection from when I opened every box. I've done a lot of different things in my time, and now I collect canvases and sitting cuties and empty boxes that I open, and I've like battling coins and the Pokemon marbles. And Basic Trainer says I have too many loose Team Rocket packs in that range. I mean, if you have packs that all came from a similar lot, it's not going to be a certainty. But like open one, I know Java had that big collection that he bought, that he had some EX Team Rocket returns, and he had some EX Fire Red Leaf Green, and he opened like, I think he opened the heaviest of them. Maybe he opened kind of an in-betweener. I'm not positive. But Mike Dano says, do you have a personal Grail card, or have you always been more of a sealed product kind of guy? If I could pick any card in the hobby to own, as far as nostalgia goes, like the base set first edition Charizard, like I never had first edition when I was growing up, but I knew it existed. I knew of it. Machamp, everyone had. But yeah, base set first edition Charizard would be like my nostalgic Grail. When I was younger, I didn't know about the Illustrator. I didn't know about a lot of things. I didn't know about TMBs, SSBs, 97, 98 Pikas. Today, like just all things aside, to me the most historic, iconic, like the most important card in the hobby to me is not the most valuable. Not the Illustrator. I personally think the 97 Pika #1. If I could have any card, it would be the 97 Pika #1. I've never owned a Japanese trophy Pikachu. I've owned the I own like the 2014 full art trophy #1 Pikachu, which I sold that, but I've owned some iconic cards, but I can't justify holding them anymore now that I do this full time and the amount that they went up to. I've got a loose base set first edition at 20.9 grams. I think that would be less than 10% chance of being a heavy. Like, so many boxes are 21.7 for the heavies, 21.4, 21.3 for the lights. It definitely could be, but if I had to throw odds on it, I would probably, unless you know the box it came from and the lights were 20.5, that is probably less than 10% chance to be and that's a made up number, but low odds of being a heavy, I would think. That's probably a non-hollow. Java has E-Series, Legendary Collection, EX Era. The theme decks are cool. The theme decks are really cool. Does the same go for loose base set first edition? I've never personally, the one box that I missed. I've opened every language of base set first edition. Not Japanese. I have not opened like the short crimp like James had. Not that crazy box James had. But I've opened every English box, Shadowless included, 4th print included, not 4th print fossil, not like those crazy jungle and fossil variants, but and not unlimited. WotC I only did first edition. Base unlimited I've done several times. But yeah, I opened base first was the only box I never opened. When I went to Vegas, I opened an unweighed pack, which ended up being a heavy, getting a Magneton. And then I opened a heavy pack years ago, a heavy base pack. I forget what I paid for it, maybe $1,000. Way back when. I want to say Well, I know I got Ninetales that graded a PSA 8, which I ended up selling. So the first base first edition holo that I opened, I ended up selling. Kind of wish I had kept it. I will always keep my Magneton because I value it more from remembering that trip to Vegas and all that. My PSA 8 Shadowless Charizard too. But yeah, I opened a Shadowless box. I never opened a base set first edition box, but I would imagine it's probably in the same vicinity. I would imagine there's probably boxes with heavies up to 21.4567, heavies all the way down to 20.9, 21, 21.1. But if I had a random loose pack, if I bought a random loose base first pack, especially if the seller had a lot of them, if the seller had a lot of them and they're selling me a 21.3 even, 21.2 even, that's probably going to be a non-holo. Like if you get a loose and it's not 21.7 grams, it's probably a non-holo. Are base set weights uniform across all languages? Base set weights are not uniform in English. I mean, base set unlimited, I just said like the heavies can be as light as 20.8, 20.9, and the heavies can be as heavy as 21.8, 21.9. So like they're not even uniform in English. They vary a ton. Pokemon Wonder says, going live with Terry next week, Dan. Pass me any questions you truly want to be answered outside of your 100 reply deep YouTube comment thread. I mean, you're the expert. You're a great interviewer. I love your content series you have going on. I think it's like he told me how he has a business. I'm interested to hear him talk about, like I always say, consult a professional. And he's like, I had 14 employees and he did all his payroll himself. He did all his accounting himself. And I fear for that a little bit. I mean, I think I'm very fluent in finance. I think I know more about taxes than most people. If I'm in the 95th percentile of the layperson with taxes, like the most average CPA is going to be in the 99.9th percentile. To pay someone a couple grand a year to do all my bookkeeping, all my accounting, it feels like good value. Terry's point is like you're paying them hundreds of dollars an hour. You could just earn that yourself. Because I mean, I talk about mowing my lawn because I make $50 an hour mowing my lawn, right, and not paying someone else. I get what he's saying, but the stakes are so high. Like mowing my lawn, what's gonna mowing my if I do something wrong with my taxes, if I do something wrong with my business structure. I mean, I can read on all these forums, I can read on all these Reddits, I can watch all these YouTube videos. I don't know 100% that everyone's going to steer me correctly. There's a lot of people out on the internet. This might be news to some people. Hopefully it's news to nobody. There are a lot of people who talk very confidently out of their ass. They have no idea what they're talking about. Like you can go watch a CPA on YouTube, someone who claims to be a CPA. You can go watch someone who claims to be an expert in XYZ, whatever it may be. And they just talk out their ass. So I would be afraid trying to like listen to experts online. Like I would be afraid trying to do it myself. One thing that I did years ago when I used to be a sole prop, and I come to find out my CPA wasn't amazing. That's one thing I always say, like not only consult experts, but try to find a good expert. Because, I mean, somebody said it the other day in Discord, I think. But do you know, I think it was James. I think it was James that said it in Discord the other day. I could be wrong. It could have been someone else. But do you know what they call the person who graduates last in their doctorate program? Doctor. Do you know what they call the worst accountant in the country? A CPA. Don't get the worst one. Because some of them are terrible. Some of them are filing everyone's taxes wrong to handle. Like, I mean, I've heard of people having to go back and do amendments and pay penalties and this and that because their accountant screwed up. So be careful out there. I just worry that I would do something wrong and the stakes would be high. Paying someone to have the peace of mind, I kind of do like double check their work to some extent. I try to be fairly educated on it. I don't just close my eyes and blindly trust them. But yeah, it is. I'll be interested to hear Terry talk about all the stuff he picked up owning a business. Like I've never had an employee, let alone 14. I've never done my own bookkeeping. I've never done my own payroll. It'll be very interesting to hear all the mechanics of doing that on your own. And again, like in the comments a little bit, I pushed back, like, and I think my time is better spent doing consignments, doing consultations. I do think my time is better spent paying someone else to do it. But I also, at the same time, I understand his argument. I just worry that some tax code would update that I would miss out on, and I would, like, to the tune of thousands of dollars it could be. To the tune of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. I became an S corporation a year or two too late. A year too late. I cost myself 5 figures in 2020 not being an S corporation. 2021 was the first year that I did it. 2020 was the first year that I took capital out of the hobby. And S corporations, in my situation, make it a lot more beneficial, a lot cheaper to take money out of the business. So, yeah, I was misstructured in 2020. But anyways, that's enough tax talk. Let me see what we got going on. What we doing? I'm back talking about taxes, Ernie. Just in time. Evie from Jungle made Dan. Yeah, Ernesto, all these thumbnails made me, for sure. I've not looked at it, but go check out my Social Blade. Check out when it switched from me doing my thumbnails to Ernesto doing the thumbnails. I'm assuming that the rocket got fueled up at that point. What's the tall man rambling about now? Have you been buying any Japanese boxes from the Scarlet and Violet block? I did pick up a little bit of Raging Surf. I think I have a few, maybe 4 or 5 sealed cases of Raging Surf, just because the price seemed reasonable. That was actually something I didn't talk about in my video, but I did, in the same week that I bought all these, in the same week that I bought a few cases of each Sword and Shield set, I did also buy a few cases of Japanese. I bought a few, well, 50 to 100 loose boxes of like V-Star. I bought a decent amount of stuff. Father still files his taxes by snail mail. If they file it wrong, you're definitely, like, if they file it wrong and then a year or two later the IRS comes back, you will have to pay penalties and interest. The big thing though, and again, like, I'm not an expert, I pay the experts. One thing they give you, like, if or when I were ever audited, if or when they ever pushed back on something, I like having the thought of having someone there. I like having the thought of someone being on my side if the IRS is ever up against me. So, I don't know. I could see Dan with okay, J Love's haircut. Viewership would boom. No, like, if you have a CPA that files incorrectly for you and saves you hundreds of thousands of dollars that you should have paid, I again, I could be wrong here, but I think you would owe for that. I don't think it would just be like, oh, they screwed up, they're gonna pay your tax bill now that they misfiled for you. I very well could be wrong. Please verify this with someone. But yeah, I do think that would be the case. In the dental world, top 33% best in academic setting, middle 33 best clinicians, bottom 33% they call millionaires. Oh, God. Ernesto, you have it backwards. Avoid. Tax avoidance is good business. Tax evasion, straight to jail. No tax evasion, please. I don't do anything with my beard. I trim it every few weeks or months. No beard oils. I do this so it's less upkeep. I don't like shaving my face every day. So that's why I do this. If I do beard oil, if I do this, that's like daily upkeep. I don't want daily upkeep. Thanks, man. Yeah, I made you. Now rip me a base pack. Heavy base are 700, 2,000 art set. But art sets are gone, actually, I think. What do you think about Topps series sealed packs or booster boxes? I never hated Topps as much as most people do. I was buying them like crazy years ago. I was buying $100 Topps Chrome boxes and ripping them like a madman. They're going for 10,000 now. Nice little casual 100X. I was buying Series 1, Series 2 for like 30, 40 bucks, 50 bucks maybe. And they're going for several hundred now. Maybe even, well, no, that's like a 10, 20X, nowhere near 100X. So Topps Chrome did really well. where I lived, Tops didn't have, so like, I know Mason years ago threw them out, Cardinal Gaming. A lot of people talk about like how ridiculed you would have been on the playground or on the bus having Tops in your binder. That was never a thing around me. At least I'm not aware of it. I didn't have a lot of it, but I had a little bit. Damaged cards can be graded per PSA, or are they auto rejected? They can be damaged to a certain extent. If your card is like taped, if your card is way too damaged, and it's not a consistent threshold. There are cards that I've sent in that have been rejected, and then I send them in again and they get a PSA 1. So good luck trying to find tape, though. I don't think they will ever grade a card that's like literally taped together or in two pieces. Or I do remember when Ray got wrecked. Sorry, Ray. I love you. Gonna need you to do another 2 hours in the AM, so I have something to listen to tomorrow. Thanks in advance. Pokemon Wonder is gonna be live next, so I don't know if you're listening to that live, but if not, listen to that tomorrow. And if you're not listening to that, I'm sure there'll be something else out there. If or when is the most Dan thing. Oh, I wash it. I just don't beard oil it or anything. I shower daily. Question, are you suffering from seasonal depression, or why are you not posting more food? I actually have some super secret DMs where I and a few other people share our smoked meats. We share our steaks. I need to bring some of those back to the other channel in Discord. I need to cross-post them. Did you know flu is short for influenza? I did know that. Dan, did you know Skater Nesto is short for skateboarding Ernesto? I did know that too. You've seen a taped together PSA 1? I've gotten multiple cards declined with tape on them. And I maybe I'm putting out fake news. I presumed that tape was a no-go, but I don't know. 10 more minutes we're going to go for. Still got 78 people hanging out. I appreciate all 78 of you. Again, feel free to email me. I will be working the rest of the night. I will be working and watching Nick and Justin, Pokemon Wonder and Old Skool. Looking forward to that. They're going to be live after this. Once this live stream ends, once I click end broadcast, you will funnel into automatically live stream redirect. You'll funnel in there. So I'm looking forward to listening to that while I'm doing some consignment listings. Hope everyone else enjoys that one too. I'm sure I will. But yeah, last 10 minutes. Hit me with some questions. Let me check my Rangers game score. 0-0 end of first. I bet on first goal scorer. I bet on Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider. So if you're watching the Rangers-Oilers game, feel free to root for me with Chris Kreider or Mika Zibanejad to score the first goal. Link, you'll be automatically redirected. So when I end this broadcast, just stay here. I think what it'll do is, it'll do this. It'll end this. It'll do a 10-second countdown, and then it'll automatically drop you in Pokemon Wonder stream. So you won't even need a link. You'll end up there. It's a beautiful thing. I'm just gonna pull up his stream so that I can see when he goes live. I'll probably just dump you there at 10:30. Hopefully they're on time. Rip the heavy light, please. I really don't want to lose money tonight. I heard a CPA made a mistake and paid part of the fee from the IRS, but the party they were doing taxes for had to pay as well. Probably depends on the agreement you sign when a CPA does your taxes. Yeah, I'm quite certain if you owe the IRS something, even if it's your CPA's mistake, that's going to be on you. That's between you and the IRS. That's going to be your money. Oh, PK's live tonight too. So yeah, I know Nick does eBay live. I saw that Old Skool and Wonder were live at 10:30. So I was contemplating when to go live. I'm like, let me do a 90-minute stream at 9 o'clock, and that'll funnel into them perfectly. Is PK live now? I did listen to his live. Oh, he's live in like 3 minutes. He does very little notice. Since Pokemon Wonder scheduled his, I'm gonna raid him because he had his. PK might have intentionally waited for me to be done. I'm not really sure. I didn't talk to PK. I think I talked to PK this morning, but not about streams. I think PK's been live the last 2 nights, and he mentioned he was gonna be live like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think he's gonna be live like a few days in a row. I do see that. I'm very excited to watch a little bit of that post. I always add their streams to my watch later. But yeah, Link and Rarg are in person together in the UK for TwitchCon, so they've had some fun content come out recently. Do you think vintage cards are overpriced or depressed currently? I don't really know. I think everything is fairly reasonably priced. You're not good at redirecting. Don't ruin this for me, Daniel. What age would you feel comfortable taking your kids on an international trip? I'm not really sure. Probably 10 plus for that long of a flight. I'm not really sure though. Dan, you do eBay lives. I do not. Not beefing with PK. Oh god. But yeah, if you're interested in these packs, feel free to hit me up. Hopefully Nick and Wonder go live right on time. Actually, really got to use the bathroom. I think what was it called? Is there a KA sponsored diaper rash cream? I think it was called butt paste. Was it called butt paste? Red tube butt paste. That's what we use generally. Shout out to butt paste. Get me sponsored over here. I actually really need to go to the bathroom, and I'm fully caught up in chat, so I'm gonna dump you into the Wonder waiting room. Go tell them Catch 'em All Collectibles sent you. I appreciate everyone hanging out.